So, I'm out here changing the oil, putting a window regulator in, and guess what? One should never assume anything. I assumed that a window regulator from a driver's door would fit in a passenger door and vice versa. Well, that's not the case. You'd think they could put them in a door where they'd be universal, stand straight up, touch, you know what I mean? But they didn't. So once I put these in here, that's my mounting hole, and it's supposed to be over there. So I guess we're going back to the junkyard. But I'm changing the oil on this, and I've never really taken a header panel off a Jeep, so I'm assuming it's pretty easy. Pull the headlights, pull these lights, there's mounting tabs right here, boom. These ones are already out. So that all comes off in one piece, boom, one piece. So we're gonna do that real quick. This oil was black as sin, so it's gonna like the new oil. Yeah, I mean it's coming together. I did buy the $400 Jeep. I'm debating on whether we want to take these with us, go to the guy's house, put them in and drive it home, or whether I should tow it home. Right now I'm talking to tow truck companies. The distance, they're saying it's $180 tow, but I know a couple people, so I'm waiting to hear back from them. That'll do it for 80 bucks. They own their own trucks. So waiting to hear back from that, but as soon as that gets here, we will show you that. Or if I get, you know, a wild hair tomorrow, I might just pack up these computers, drive there, throw them in, boom, 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 see if that thing drives home. Guys, when I got there, the guy already replaced the crank and the cam sensor. You turn the key and it turns over and sputters like crazy and dies. It's the same exact thing, guys. Same thing. I know you guys are like, oh, it's another Jeep, it's another Jeep, but we just had that Grand Cherokee come in here with an issue, and what I do immediately is go out online and try to find another one. While it's fresh in my mind, I found it. Same exact scenario, same thing wrong. We already have two computers, so if I find another one, I'm doing it again. You know, it is what it is. But before, remember when we did the transmission in the Chevy, and we went through all those troubles, and I learned a lot. 2 weeks later, I found that GMC where the T-case, U-joint went, T-case broke, spacer between the tranny and the T-case broke. But from doing that transmission 2 weeks prior, I knew, you know, that I could go to the junkyard, buy a $20 spacer, put that T-case back in, and we made over $2 grand. You know what I mean? So this is kind of how I operate. Fingers crossed, it's a computer. You know, it's the same symptoms, it's the same everything. Literally on these motors, guys, it's that sensor, and the computer. Literally, that's it. You know, it'll still run with this stuff. You know, these are the sensors on this motor. You got them here, you got one back there, one right there. That's it. You know, these are as simple as it comes, guys. It's another Jeep, but I've found, you know, a way to be consistent. You know, I used to buy, you know, all kinds of cars. I'd buy Cobalts, I'd buy this, whatever I thought I was getting a deal on. But then you get these cars that nobody wants to buy, and you only make $200, or sometimes you lose money. You got to finally sell it for $100 less than what you paid or have into it. You know, we haven't seen that once with a Jeep, a Silverado. You know what I mean? So, yeah, a lot of Jeeps on this channel, but it's a proven, consistent way. You know what I mean? I implore you, go out, try to flip cars, try to do this and make a consistent 1,000 up every single time. Try it. It's hard. Do I get sick of the Jeeps and the Chevys? Yes, but it's working, guys. It's working, and until it doesn't work, I'm going to keep doing it. You know, it is what it is. If you can find a vehicle like Miatas, they have a cult following. You will be able to sell them to somebody. Hondas, they have a cult following. They will sell. VWs, they have a cult following, but you got to have the right motors, 1.8Ts and you know, the TDIs. Jeeps, they have a cult following. You can sell them. any Chevy truck, cult following. And I know I just grind this stuff in and I press the same things over and over and over, but it is what it is, you know. I like it. It's consistent. It's working. I'm excited. We just bought a Jeep. We don't know if it's going to run. We're calling it the mysterious Jeep. You know, you've already heard the story. Tranny was rebuilt, went back together, hasn't run right since. We're going to try to fix it. We're going to try to drive it home. What if I bought it, we get it running, and the tranny don't shift? You know what I mean? Because I just went there, bought it, it's as is. This is a risky business. The highs are very high and the lows are super low. I hate the lows, but you know what? It's part of the business. So let's get this oil in here. Gotta head back to the junkyard. And since I'm out that way tomorrow, I think I might bring a computer with me. I'll bring you guys with me. We'll go put it in that Jeep and see if I can't drive it home. In the meantime, just got the oil changed. New filter down there. It's coming up, flowing good. Once I did that, for some reason, oil pressure gauge started working right. That oil filter that was in there seemed pretty clogged. But I got the front header panel off. Seriously simple. You got 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I mean, it comes right off. And then you've got a serious amount of little plugs to pull. I'm gonna go get that one off Steele's Jeep and we'll see what it looks like. Let's go hold this up to his Jeep. Make sure it's the same color. Hate to do this and it not look right. It doesn't look right already. Oh yeah. I'd say that looks good. I mean, for as easy as it is to change those, you know what I mean? So, we got 500 into it. We got a bunch of parts off of it to make this Jeep look better. I don't know what you'd pay for this or anything else I took, but it's really whittling down the price I paid. So, I mean, we're making money to restore our own car. And voila, look at that. A million times better. And I think I'm also going to swap these out. Let's go have a look. A lot newer, a lot cleaner. Might as well, as long as we're here doing this, you know. Take those. We gotta take these. So let's get this thing buttoned back up. See how much better she looks. Man, that looks a ton better. That front header panel always bothered me ever since we got it. You can definitely see this hood got crunched back a little bit, but I mean, it is what it is. We put all, well, new to us, amber lights in. It just looks a lot cleaner. I'm happy. That really cleans that thing up, especially the black and the fins. Yeah, looks really good now. I'm gonna get to buttoning this up and I'll get back with you in a little bit. We're back at the junkyard. Again. Learn from my mistakes. You cannot use a passenger side window regulator in a driver's side door. Who would have thunk it? Like, who would have? If I was an engineer, instead of having this on an angle, I'd make it straight up and down so it would work both ways. Yeah. So let's get this one tested, make sure it even works. And then, guys, I bought that Jeep and I talked to the guy and I said, hey, can I stop by and just quick throw one of these computers in, and if it works, I'll drive it out of there. Otherwise, tomorrow I'll have a tow truck there. So he said, yeah, go ahead and come by. So we're about to leave here and go try to throw a computer in that Jeep and see if we can drive it home. Brought my cutters.
He almost forgot him again.
Almost forgot him. She reminded me. Kind of in a hurry because we got so much to do today.
So much.
I also bought 2 Sundown 12-inch subs. The magnets fell right off them, so Gonna be rebuilding those. That's gonna be awesome.
He was playing with them last night.
Yep. So we'll see how it happens. I know those are $300 a piece. I bought them both for 50 bucks.
Heck of a steal.
Steal if you know how to rebuild them.
True.
Okay, set it up. Come on, Bessie.
Yay!
A little more. Come on.
Woo! She works.
Right there. All right, we got a window regulator.
Woo, woo. Third time's a charm.
Jeez. What an adventure.
All for a window
Okay.
regulator.
I'm telling you. I'm kind of excited to get at this house and freaking
Throw that
put this
computer in.
computer in and drive it away.
We brought
$400
both of them.
Jeep. I brought both of them just in case one don't work. Oh yeah, gotta take it out the window, smart guy.
Bada boom, bada bing.
All right, we got a regulator.
Yay.
Okay.
The right one. Then that's all we needed here, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So now we can go see if we can fix the Jeep and drive her home?
Yep. I admit defeat. So we pulled up there. I quick threw a computer in it and it started exactly the same way. It'll start but then backfire. So he said he put a crank sensor in and he put a cam sensor in. I'm gonna start with the crank sensor when we get it home. I just talked to the tow truck guy. I was trying to save a bunch of money with a tow. It is, 55 minutes from me. So, but it's a $400 Jeep. So, and I didn't really want to film there because, we're on this guy's property and, it is what it is. Felt weird. I didn't want to ask him to be on camera or film at his house. So either way, we put the computer in it. It didn't start. Well, it did start, but then backfires every time. So now we're back here. I got to get this thing buttoned up because this thing's got to get out. I don't know if that Jeep is on its way today or if it's going to be here tomorrow morning. He hasn't told me yet, but he has the addresses and he sent me a thumbs up. So that thing could show up in about 45, 50 minutes. We need to get this thing back together, get it out of here. This thing's done. Except for the window motor, I gotta do that real quick. So let me get busy on this and I'll talk to you in a minute. She's home. So it looked like a $400 Jeep. As you know, yesterday, put the computer in it, didn't work. Well, we got it home, I jacked it up, took all this out, put a crank sensor in it and it fired right up. It runs really well actually. This is one of the computers from the Junkyard. So we know that that works. I'm gonna go ahead, take all that out. I'm gonna put my second set from the Junkyard in and see if it runs. Then I know I have two working computer sets. I can either sell them, I can do whatever. Having them and knowing they work, big. If I hook the one up and it doesn't work, I can go back and get my money back. Kind of why I'm doing it. But runs really well. As far as putting a transmission in it, he did. I mean, it's all clean underneath there, all new brass fittings. It looks beautiful underneath there, all except for the weld, where they welded the exhaust. That's kind of that's a big weld. Let me see if I can get underneath there and show you guys. Check that goober dabber out. Holy jamoli. So yeah, there's the exhaust leaks a little bit right there. I mean, there is just, it's everywhere. But as far as the tranny, it's been replaced. I mean, it all looks good up on there. And the bottom of this thing is pretty darn clean. Coming up here, it's still got its shine. It, looks good on the inside. Got a nice radio in it that I really want to take. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. The back, it's nice. It was a woman's car. Screw you, Cancer. Rust there and rust there. I this thing got dropped off and I just got busy working on it, and I probably should have filmed it, but I was like, you know what, put the computer in it, that didn't work. Gotta be cam sensor or crank sensor, it's gotta be. So yeah, we put that in there and walla walla bing bang. And believe it or not, I had that crank sensor sitting up there in a box. It's actually an OEM one from the junkyard that I took. So that's good. So he put a brand new crank sensor in and it never worked. So this AutoZone crank sensor, you know, bought it brand new. That's defeating, guys. When you buy a brand new part, you expect it to work, you put it in, and you're not a mechanic, you know, just like me, and you're learning as you go. You put it in and it doesn't start. Well, you don't expect that to be bad. So you go to everything else. Next thing you know, 20 different tries later, you're back to the crank sensor, replace it, and it fixes it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he did. Put the tranny in, drove it, it was sputtering. You had to pull the crank sensor out to get the tranny out. So that's why I should have just known that, because put a tranny in it, pulled that crank sensor, put it back in, didn't work right. You know what I mean? So then he changed it, didn't work, never, you know, wouldn't start. Changed the cam sensor, and you know, walla walla bing bang, here he is. He gave up on it, sold this thing for $400. You know what I mean? Like, the last Jeep we had, or the last Grand Cherokee, was way rougher than this, man. I posted it for $1,700 and got 85 messages in 2 days. So I can only imagine what this one's gonna do. It's got 160,000 miles on the odometer. Hasn't ran since fall. Oh, I got the battery disconnected. Whoops. But let me get this computer in. I'll show you if it starts or not. Then we know we got good computers or bad computers. So we know we got one good one from the junkyard. All right, you guys are gonna see for the first time my other junkyard computer works. But let's just take a minute. Look at this freaking wiring, guys. He said he had a bad ground, so he went and replaced everything with 0 gauge car audio wire. It's got a big ground there, comes out of here into a splitter to the motor and starter. I've got my positive cables coming out, going to another splitter to the alternator or starter. Yeah, that's a serious wire job right there. He said, you'll never have problems with voltage, I guarantee it. I don't think I will. So let's go turn this key, see if this thing's gonna start. This is one of the ones we bought from the junkyard, so let's see. Got a blinking. Oh, why would that throw security? Well, that's dumb. Look at that. Looks like I'm getting my money back for this one. Alright. Well, now we know. See? Now it's a good thing I didn't sell that on eBay for 150 bucks and get a strike against my record. I would have never sold them without checking them first. So I'm going to peel this back out. I'm going to put the stock computer that was in it back in it, and then I will know that I have one computer that I can swap out, and then I'll take this one back and go about our day. Alright, so I got it back out. We know that one doesn't work. This is the stock one that was in it when we went. So because it was crank sensor, this computer should work. Let's see. Yep. 160,000 miles on this thing. Crazy. No engine lights. So there's that. all the windows work. It's got decent tires on it. I gotta go through and decal it, or decal it. At some point it was hit here, kind of crumpled it right there. But I mean, $400 Jeep. We fixed it for free because I had a crank sensor here, didn't take a computer, and bonus, I now can sleep comfortably at night knowing that that computer works, that one doesn't. So, and I probably won't sell it. I'll probably just keep it around because they're hard to find, you know, ones that work. So check these out though. I mean, I still cannot get over this wiring setup he's got going here. Look at this. How does this go on there? I don't know. Oh, wow. Different one for positive. That's pretty cool. But what do you think about these wires, guys? Insane. So, I gotta get this water bottle back bolted up. But other than that, I think we're done with this thing. I gotta air up the tires. It's been sitting since last fall. Alright, you got this here. I mean, it is what it is. 400 bucks. And then you got this here. So she's not a gem. But, I mean, the whole underneath looks good. Control arms, all that stuff. So, moral of the story is once you deal with this problem enough times, you learn that it's either crank sensor, cam sensor, or computer. Every time, you can get no starts off some of these intakes, but rarely. So it's just good to know. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep looking for these because I can keep finding them for 400 bucks, and all day it's little work for, you know, free money. So let me get in here. I got to get these seat covers off. I might take this sticker off. It's looking pretty old and rough. But yeah, I'll let you know what it looks like. Oh my gosh, guys. So I was working on the Jeep. I rolled it out. I took a picture of it, put it up for $2,300, and it sold instantly. My phone literally was getting message after message after message, 60 of them. And the first person was a lady. She came, drove it, and took it. I mean, it drove it around. It drove nice. I mean, it shifted brand new. It's, you know, just had that transmission put in it. He hadn't even driven on it yet because he never got it running again afterwards. So, I mean, it drove nice. I put new oil in it, cleaned it up a little bit, but it was gone instantly. So, I've still got this one here. What I did is, yesterday, I pulled that one down so I didn't have a bunch of ads up. Took it down, deleted the ad, put the red one up because I knew, you know what, just, I'm only getting like 2 messages on the silver one. I might as well delete that ad, put the red one up, see what happens. It blew up, sold instantly for asking price. So now I just came out here, put this ad up. Think about it. I've got 500 into that one. I had 525 into the red one after towing. So, you know, 1,025 sold for 23. I've still got this one here. If I sell this one for, I don't know, 1,000 bucks, we still make, you know what I mean, killing. I can move on to something else, something new to play with because I'm already bored. Here, let me show you what I'm playing with now. So I picked these up for 50 bucks, 2 of them. I don't know if you are under, I don't know, 30, then you probably know what these are. Sundown Audio, these are not cheap. And I picked up both of them, and somehow this kid bought them, and he was playing them, and his story wasn't too clear. He's like, they were mounted in my box, and next thing, I don't know if he got, I don't know what happened. He just wasn't, it didn't make sense. But the freaking magnets fell off. So, you can see I spaced this one. I made my own spacer. I re-epoxied the magnet. And then this is the cone. I, you know, gently took it off, scraped it with a knife, and got this off nice. If you look at the coil still looks good. It's got a couple little nicks, but nothing that, you know, these things, this is gonna go back in there and it's gonna work without spending any money. So, you know, these sundown subwoofers are not cheap. Here, let me try to pick this one up. I got it in a bowl to protect the coil. So basically, I'd grab that magnet and I'd put it near it, but it just, I mean, it takes two people to get the magnet off of this. So basically what it did is the magnet shifted, pinched the coil couldn't move. And then, you know, but, so this is supposed to be glued to here, and then you see these bolts. Then this basket, which is right here, see these bolts here? They bolt down to the actual motor. This is called a motor. This is called the top plate. Basically the top plate came undone. You can see the old epoxy. But these coils, I mean, they're still good. 8-layer, flat wound, 2-inch coils, 2.5-inch coils. These things are gonna be extremely loud. So I can't wait to get those together. I'm pretty much fixing them for free. The cost of epoxies and glues. This is the best glue to glue, you know, the surround right here and this spider right here. But yeah, I mean, this is another one of my hustles. I buy a lot of speakers and amps, a lot of car audio, because you can get older car audio that was just like legend car audio really cheap when a younger generation gets a hold of it. And you know, if you're fast, you'll find them and you'll go get it. But a lot of guys my age know what it is, and they'll go get it before me. So you gotta have your eyes open, you gotta be looking. But car audio is another really lucrative thing to flip. Just like clothing. Brittany flips clothing. She knocks down probably 400, 500 a week just flipping clothing. So it's, you know, get your hands in it, man. Start flipping things and it'll all turn out. So that's how I made $1,900 under the coronavirus quarantine. Whatever you're into, guys, just whether it's car audio, whether it's home theater, whether anything, any electronics, anything.
Clothing.
You can flip it. If you're into it, you know what it's worth, you know what it goes for, you know when you're finding it cheap, and you know you're not the only one in the world. So that's basically what I do, and that's how I do it. You guys said you wanted to see more of my stuff. I was going to throw me rebuilding them subs in, but this video is getting kind of long. A lot happened with that Jeep, and it happened really fast. I should have filmed a little bit more of it, but I didn't. It is what it is. So I'll let you know what's going to happen with the silver Jeep. Maybe I'll sell it fast. Maybe I'll keep the price at what it's at. You know what I mean? But I appreciate you guys watching. If you like the merch, go ahead, message me on Instagram or email me at KbMotorsChannel@gmail.com. I have a merch store. You can get decals, and I can also make custom decals. You can message me on Insta. That's KbMotorsChannel. No spaces. That's how you get to me there. And then we also have a online store at KbMotorsLLC.com. If you like anything or if you have any questions, you know, drop them in the comments below. If you have any suggestions, drop them in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. Still making money during the quarantine. Thanks for watching. Peace.